What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky review, we're going to take a look at a Patreon pick, and I believe this one was from Andy Tubbs, if I remember correctly. Yep. And it is the HG Unicorn version of the Rozen Zulu. And unfortunately, no, it's not the good one, so to speak. It is the first one. Now, this one was actually built by Miss Shoky early when we first got together. I think this was basically her third kit and her first true, like, hefty mobile suit. And of course, she liked it because it's purple. Purple and pinkish. Yeah, Rozen Zulu is pretty cool, but of course, she had no reason to know what the heck it even was. But you get some horrendous, tremendous artwork going on right here. You even got the remnants here of a Rezel, I believe it is, all cut into pieces. Same thing over here. You got arms flying around. You got little beam effects going on, little blue stuff coming off of the Rozen Zulu. You've got Hguc up here. You got the Gundam Unicorn logo up there. You've got the YAMS-132 Rozen Zulu Neo Zeon Hybrid Psychomu mobile suit. So yeah, it did use some Psychomu stuff. And it's got Bandai 2012 down there in the corner. Now, if you come down to the bottom, you get obligatory front and rear shot. It is a very interesting looking suit. And guys, if you know the truth of this, it doesn't look like this. The colors, not even close. Now you got the read up right there, and you've got a little bit of the Sananju happening right off to the side of it. And you get a breakdown of it right there. All the different weights and weapons and all the things. Of course, HGUC. And you've got HGUC again in 149 in the line, so way up there. Rozen Zulu, BandaiHobby.net. And on the final side, you've got action. It does things and such. And stuff moves, and there's claws, and he can bow or something. It's like so busy it doesn't really know what to do. You've got backpack stuff, you've got claws, and you got shields, you got funnels, and you've got attacking of... I can't tell what that is. I guess that's a Rezel type C right there. Really, really hard to tell. Top of my head. And then you've got a couple warnings there. You've got do not stick a Rozen Zulu in your 3-year-old's face because it won't be good for them. And then you've got 18-year-olds should probably also not stick it in their face. And you got the little guy in the toilet. You've got 2,800 yen, so about $30. And the cover is illustrated by Naochika Morishita, one of my favorite artists. Very unique suit. Very upside down. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get to it. There is no build montage as this was built years ago. So let's just get right to it. And here we have Rozen Zulu out here, and as you guys can clearly tell, it is not even remotely the right purple. Now, I don't know the exact story behind it, but you can see clearly, I mean, while the legs and some of the other accent bits are close to the same pink, this is a brown. It's definitely close-ish to a very, very deep maroon color, but it is not the right color whatsoever. And I don't know if it was a plastics issue, and it wasn't like the kits have been sitting around for too long. I mean, we picked this thing up maybe about 2 years after it came out, so it's not like it's super old or anything like that. So I guess just production thing, I don't know. Now I do know for a fact that the good one, quote unquote, the episode 7 version does come in the correct colors, which is probably why it's always sold out, because, well, if it ever comes out, it is gone instantly. So realistically here, we've got a big brown and kind of purple-y mobile suit that's neither a Gira Zulu or a Hama Hama that it is kind of based on. I mean, if you've seen the Hama Hama, you definitely have the shoulders, the claws, and even the shield in common. I'm going to have to lower the light here so I can really see some details. Yeah. But really, before we get into big details with this guy, we can check out some of the accessories. There's not a lot, but they are significant. Okay, so, and if you guys were watching the live stream on Facebook not long ago, last week, you'll see this. Bless me. And this. So the main accessory it comes with are these little wired dealies, and you've got these little parts in between. And this is, of course, for the flying claw gimmick. These were a big pain. We didn't actually assemble them a couple years ago when we built this. She just wasn't interested. So I did it to make sure that we saw everything in this review. So you get it two ways. You can have these open ones like so that are generally kind of spread out like this. And then you have the closed-ish ones like this that are meant to be kind of compacted onto each other. And honestly, it's not a great gimmick. It's supposed to be basically like this. They don't actually like interlock, but I guess if you cram it together, it will work. So these are kind of meant to stay close to each other. Those are meant to be spread out. So of course, just extra support. And you've got clear bits at the ends so that you can plug them in. And you also have the stands that they go on. Now you get tall stands and you get short stands. You get 2 tall ones and 4 short ones. And nothing in between, which is truly annoying. Because when you get the wire, you got 2 choices. You can cut it in half and do what I did here, or you can leave it one really long section. It is just what it is. So you got to kind of make that decision of yourself whenever you get there. Now I went ahead and did it this way. So to show off how they work, I've got this one as the left hand, and you can see that there's a couple tabs right there, and they will plug into this guy. So you just set that up like so, so that you have some support. Now this end is going to go into the hand, or into the arm I should say. So you come up here, you just go ahead and grab the claw part and just pull it out. Just got that kind of D-shaped hole, and you have a clear D-shaped peg inside the arm. You can kind of see it in there. And then this is just a ball socket essentially. So it honestly does not matter how you plug it in as long as you just plug it in. Just like so. And realistically, if you want to, you need to keep the wires as straight as you can. Try to keep continuity, but it's just going to shift on you. It's going to twist on you. Now you take the claw and you put it on this end. You have the same, you have a D-shaped peg, like so. Go ahead and open the claw itself. And now you've got a small ball joint here. I can grab my other small stand. Scooch this back. And you kind of have to make the decision of which way you're going to go. You're going to go small or you're going to go tall. And I go small on the left side because it really does get limiting. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. So you got the nice claw coming out there. Come to the left hand. Go ahead and yank that one out. Plug this into the hand. And plug this guy into here. Sorry, I meant wrist. I keep saying hand, but I mean wrist. Now you can take this normal tall stand and plug it in like you do. And then you can have the arms like so. Of course, using the ball joint, you can sort of position it how you want. It'd be kind of cool if they gave you beam effects to come with it, but they don't. And you can see here how the claws or these little thingies all together kind of make a mess. And you can mix and match. If you do it all one long thing, you can put them however you really want to. Keeping them straight is a nightmare in and of themselves. And you really want to try to include some dynamic pose, but of course, because there's a real thing in there holding it all together, you sort of have to make it work. And you can tell here is what's the problem, because if you go with a tall stand on this side, then you lose some of the center support that you would normally have. So, I mean, you can do it a couple ways. It's just up to you. So you can pull that out of there. Have to pull this other ball joint out. And then you can have two high-flying claws like so that are reaching out. And the claws themselves actually weren't the main threat. It was these blasters, because he would like surround you and then shred you. Now the other thing you can do with the same stands using the same fixture, just want to make sure that was secure off to the side, is you get funnels. So you get these little rose-shaped funnels, because, you know, Rozen. And they do just plug into these clear stands. Now you do get like 6 or 7 of these, probably 8, if I'm going to be honest. But you don't get enough stands. So also, if you wanted to give them a little posability, you can use this part and attach it up there, or you can attach them in the clear hole down here. You can do the same thing with the hands. I'm only using one because there's no point otherwise. Now, I do believe you can, not necessarily integrate, but you can move. Is only the bottom open? Yeah, only the bottom opens. You're supposed to, I guess, have a few of these buried in the backpack, so you have the closed funnel that goes from the little backpack thruster thing that's very similar to our good friend SteelAngelJohn, which, of course, the the pilot of this guy sort of worships at the throne of full frontal. That just sounds really weird. Okay, so that's it for accessories. Let's check out the suit. Okay, so let's look at this purple nightmare up close. Now, one thing you guys, of course, will notice is the sheer amount of white stripes on here. And yes, they're all stickers. Every little stripy detail across this entire thing is all super small stickers, with the exception, of course, these sleeve styles here, and then even like these smaller like buttons. Those are slightly more covered, but stickers. And like I said, this was about the 3rd kit she ever did, and she did an amazing job. It did take her probably just as long to do the stickers as to build most of this guy. I can't even imagine doing this. This would try my patience to the max. And yes, you could absolutely paint all that if you're crazy. Now the chest, as far as I can feel, I don't feel the molded detail underneath there, so you may not be able to replicate the Neo Zeon emblem here. It's just, I haven't played with this thing in a while. She tried to clean up some of the nub marks. I could see that. I don't remember what marker she was trying to use. It looks like a little bit of red. And just trying to wash it away. Trying to just cover nubs. It is what it is. It's an early kit. I am definitely not going to hold her totally accountable. Now, this was before we got into using my favoriteest dark gray ever for things. So the thrusters on the legs back here, little things like in here, inside the beams on the shield. Technically, the shield was an accessory. I just didn't count it when we got there. But basically exactly like the hammer shield. Shoots big beam weapons. Looks pretty cool. Doesn't do much else. It's just there. I kind of wish it would plug onto the back. Some stickers peeling right there. You got to be a little bit careful with this. It is very fiddly, and with the fact those stickers are everywhere, you got to be careful. And it would be a lot easier to see details on this if it were the right color. Oh man, I'm going to keep harping on it. It's the wrong color. Excuse the thing you don't necessarily see in the background there. Now let's get a close-up on that head. Definitely very similar to like a Rozen Zulu. It's got the face mask, or I'm sorry, gas mask style nozzle up front. You got the kind of copper-ish hoses there. You can't see the mono eye, but it's there. It's actually straight down the middle. I think you could probably rotate that if you take the head apart. I'm not too keen on doing that, honestly. And it is, I believe, just on a ball joint with a hinge, so you can rotate it. You can look up and down, but you're not going to get all the way around with that snout on that thing like that. You get this navy-ish color here for the rest of the chest. I can't tell. I think it's just a hinge. I don't believe there's ball joints in there. If there are, like I said, I didn't build it. I don't know exactly how things are mounted, but you get a little bit of a butterfly joint there, and the shoulder armors do move independently. You do have upward movement with the arm, like so. You have bicep rotation up there. I really do dig these arms. They look really cool if that was in copper. So, but given all the stuff that it does, it can kind of give us a high teacher with that big claw. Ooh, that is a nasty, nasty seam line there. So, I thought it had rotation elsewhere. Could be wrong. Okay, so be careful there. Definitely a single jointed elbow gets you 90 degrees. The wrist doesn't rotate. The claws don't rotate. Of course, they do open like so. You guys should know that. The waist does have an ab crunch, like so. Okay, you get the deal. It does rotate. He does have the very strange front skirt where it's all one ginormous piece, like so. And then the side skirts flare out like this. That's so weird, but, you know, it's a Xeon thing. You do have the copper hoses running inside there. Looks pretty cool. The legs do come up. You have the big, like, knee blade right here. Just got to watch out for that. That's about as far as you're going to kick forward before he starts hitting himself in the chest. You can go back only about that far. That back skirt does not move. You have thigh rotation up there. I think you're going to have some shimmy shimmy. Looks like shimmy shimmy. Hold on. Yep, you got crotch shimmy shimmy. Of course, the crotch peg goes there. By the way, the stand does not come with it. That's just one of my stands I always have laying around. You do get double jointed knee. The blade on the back of the leg does move as well. So just kind of move that however you see fit. You got more hoses here on the top of the calf or the shin right here. Got some more leg vents that need some paint. This one will be good for a good update. Like actually go in and do some paint updates. You can tell she sanded the crap out of the legs for some strange reason. Come to the feet. Definitely has those super high heels that Angelo loves so much. You got, I think, gotta be a ball joint in there somewhere, plus a hinge. So it can move around like so. Toe point does the thing. Heel does nothing. You get some ankle tilt. Got to watch that because the front wants to move independently of the back. That's never a good thing. So, I mean, it's a really cool kit. And the fact that we haven't never gotten an MG of this or even an RE. I mean, we got an MG Sinanju. And Sinanju is like the big bad. But this thing did a ton of damage in the Unicorn movies and series. But speaking of Unicorn, we can bring in the Jigen. You see just how much bigger that thing is than a standard, like, Jigen sized creature here. And it's huge. I mean, it's definitely way bigger than a lot of things. A lot of the sleeve suits at this point were really big, including Kshatriya, which, when I get that built, it will look good next to the Rozen Zulu. And there it is, next to the Unicorn. So, I mean, it was significantly bigger even than the Unicorn. Now, mind you, this is the RG, so it's just ever so slightly different size-wise, but still good. So, yay for that. So, it's like messing up the white balance a little bit. Which, by the way, RG Unicorn, very good kit. And just for giggles, there's Wally. Alright guys, final thoughts wise, it's pretty cool. The colors are definitely off. It's, you know, a few years old of an RG, or I'm sorry, HG, but it's still pretty good. The gimmick, well, it leaves something to be desired. You're probably never ever going to use it. But other than that, it's really cool. Given a little bit of paint detail, and the stickers maybe really kind of holding it back a bit, but it's still kind of cool to have. And, I mean, it did a lot of damage in the series. It was a pretty potent mobile suit on the side of Neo Zeon, so if you want to pick one up, if you can find it, I would definitely recommend getting the episode 7 version, which is proper colors and actually has the cool shield mounted to the hand instead. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I didn't really show it off, but I dig the kind of rosette backpack parts. Actually, you know what? I totally skipped that detail-wise. You do have the tanks back here mounted on ball joints. You have the little rosette thrusters back here with the funnels installed. I do wish they would totally open up, but they don't. So, those are neat. But anyways, that's going to be it for this review, guys. If you liked it, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you're new here and you dig what I'm doing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I do Gunpla stuff at least 3 days a week. Everything else is just fun, nerdy stuff that I like to collect. And, of course, if you want to help out in the future and help dictate maybe even some of the things that I do, much like Andy Tubbs, who picked this kit for me to review, go ahead and become a patron, or patroneer, as I like to call them. And, of course, if you want to grab some Shoky merch, it'll be right there on the screen. Link in the description down below. That will also help, boost the channel and keep things moving forward. And if you guys want to check out the Lupus for Lupus contest, it is, of course, going to be linked in the end, and merch will be up here in the card. All of that will all go to charity. Plus, I just really want to see some cool people build some cool Gundams. But that's going to be it for this review, guys. I will catch you on the next one. And remember, as always, keep on building.